It's quite chilly. The roosters are crowing. The bullfrogs are going at it out in the bog. The mosquitoes are out. Not get a video up like I had promised, so I apologize for that. So yesterday was very windy here. I got a lot done. It was a nice working day, and so I got a lot done around the yard, and I took videos here and there, and there was a couple of foraging videos that I tried to make, but the wind was just too much to get the camera to focus on something that is, trying to blow away on me. So now I've got a fire going in the rocket stove, and what I plan on doing is cooking up some older eggs for the birds for breakfast. So I need to break a bunch of eggs open in there and scramble them up, get them cooling so I can mix it in with their food. So that's what I'm doing. I'm sitting out here and just enjoying the morning, folks, and I thought I'd bring you along. Let me raise that up a little bit. Alright, so as you can see, I've got a little bit of smoke. Everything is a little bit damp here. And that's the thing with the rocket stove. I've got a rock in the front end of this open part here to get a little bit of a draft under the wood. But what I need to do is take part of a brick and make that just a little bit more fancy. Something more flat instead of a rock, the flattest rock I could find, right? So I've got a little bit of water in that pot, and I've got some real old stale spaghetti. So I'm going to cook that up for the birds. I will burn that box. So we'll cook up some spaghetti and some eggs for the birds. So that's what I am doing. I don't want to bore you to death. The wood is, excuse my reach, the wood is, like I said, a little damp. I didn't have it under, well, I had it under cover. It was in the woodshed, but it was in a spot in the woodshed where the rain came in a little bit. So we'll let that get started, and it's going to smoke a little bit, but that'll keep the mosquitoes away, right? So I'm just going to start breaking open some eggs. Just like camping, folks. Just like camping. I love my rocket stove. I really do. It gives you a little bit of an enclosed fire. And again, I want to remind folks that this is on a gravel pad at another part of my driveway, and there's no wind, so we're safe, right? We're safe. We always want to be safe with fire. So I'm not really sure about what's happening with my YouTube channel. Now I know some of you really are dedicated to following me along. And honestly, I feel like I'm a little bit boring. And maybe I find that my lifestyle is a little bit boring because I live it every day. But somebody said that I could improve my channel if I showed, like, behind the scenes, what I do here on a daily basis, so people really get the gist of what it's like living this lifestyle. Kind of primitive, right? No running water, no power, cooking on a rocket stove, gardening, foraging, and all the things I do that I don't show on camera. So maybe I'll start doing more of this, but you're gonna find that the videos will be made all times of the day, because my day isn't just productive during daylight hours. It goes way into the night, and it goes early in the morning. And if you run a homestead, you have birds, it's a 24-hour thing, and you sleep when you can, right? So I've got several eggs here, folks. What I'm doing is breaking them open, and these are older eggs. I don't know if I mentioned that yet. These are a little bit older eggs, or eggs that, when I say older, they're probably 2 weeks old. Or some that are a little poopy. So I just, where I live without running water, it's just easier to take the poopy ones, set them aside, and just cook them up for the birds than it is to wash them. And once they're washed, once you wash that bloom off, right, they have to go into a cooler or refrigerator. And where I live without refrigeration and only have a cooler and block ice, I really don't need to be putting eggs in my cooler, so when I get something out, they may crack. And so I just find it's easy to do this. It's a win-win. It's a win-win. I don't have to refrigerate them, and the birds get protein, right? They provide me with eggs, I provide them with eggs. It just works. It just works, folks. So this is a pretty common thing that I do, because with the birds I've got, I really don't need all these eggs that come off. Now I do hand eggs out, so that helps. But still, if you have birds, sometimes you have an abundance of eggs, right? So I do water glass my eggs, and I'm going to experiment with rubbing mineral oil on them to preserve them. But even if I got 3 eggs a day, that's way more than I can eat. So this supplements their food. And I do have a headlamp on, folks, just so I could see. And what I do is just scramble them up. I've got about, with that pasta in there, I've got about a half a pot of eggs, folks. So what I do with my eggshells is I'll let them dry out a little bit, and then I will crush them, and they will go into my compost pile. So there it is. I got to stoke my fire again. Again, there's that draft. If I could get a half a cut off brick and put it right on the feeder part of that chamber, and then I would get better airflow under the blocks of wood that I am cooking with, right? So I'm not sure what's on the agenda today. A list in there, and I'm going to have to go through the priorities and figure out any new priorities that come along and deal with them. But I assure you, the day won't be wasted. It just won't be wasted, folks. There's so much to do. So good morning, and thank you for joining your daybreak with me. Even if you watch this in the afternoon, you're still keeping me company, even though you're not physically here and I haven't uploaded yet. I just feel like I've got a little company while I'm doing this. I guess I don't need that headlamp on anymore. So, good morning and have a wonderful day, folks. Thank you.